What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast. Now, I'm Alex. In this video, I want to do a fun little what-if game with you guys. I want to have a nice discussion. This could lead into a rant by me, just purely of my emotions, but I thought now would be a good time. Last week in February, I assume next week we'll probably have a video. We'll talk about the possibilities of a March announcement for Batman, or at least like teaser images. That's actually what I do. I mean, I don't think we would actually get the announcement in March, but here's what I want to do. I want to skip to the end of the story, and we've talked about this. I mean, well, here's the deal. This game should have been announced months ago. We all know that, right? At this point, I hope that's common knowledge. And honestly, it actually isn't, which is a little terrifying to me, to be honest with you. But I want to talk about what if this game is not at E3. So June, and I don't even consider June. I mean E3, maybe it's a good word for YouTube. I'll title it that. Again, it's just like something there, but really, I do mean June in general, because Warner Bros. While Warner Bros. Is going, they don't have to be on the stage. They don't have to. They're not going to have their own like actual huge conference. They could have their own in terms of what they did a few years ago. Maybe they show some stuff on Microsoft stage. Maybe they're only there for CD Projekt Red, which I absolutely do not think so. But some people have thrown that out there, so gotta see both sides of it. I'm definitely one to do that. What if June comes and goes and there's no Batman? What do we do? What do we do? Now, I think as time goes on and on and on and on and on and on, I mean, it's gone on for years. As time goes on, we continue to build ourselves up, that's for sure. I don't think we're any strangers to doing that. I don't think we should feel ashamed. So many people have come out over the last couple months, really years, and basically have told us that we can't expect things. That's pretty much what the people that take the anti-approach to what I say, to what you guys write in the comments, the people that are against us pretty much don't want us to have expectations. That's, I think, the general thing. And I'm here to tell you that I think it's perfectly acceptable that we do. I don't think there's anything wrong with having expectations and with not like setting ourselves up with failure because we're hoping that doesn't happen. Now, as it turns out, that's what we've done. We've set ourselves up. We've gotten ourselves built up for all of these things. And I think the first thing people will probably say, if I'm as good as predicting what people are going to write in my comments as I say I am, which I do think, the first thing people would say is, well, firstly, they'll say, like, it doesn't have to be shown there, or that it whenever they want to show it, they'll show it. But I think what a lot of people say is, well, you're all going to build yourself up so high that this game is going to get announced there, and then when it doesn't, you'll blame, Warner Bros., all that stuff, when it's actually your own faults. And again, I'm going to tell you that it's not, because with the world that we live in and with the leaks and with all this kind of stuff, it's okay to do that. We've literally not necessarily been programmed, but I mean, it all makes sense. It's not like we're just spewing like things that don't make any sense. E3 at this point needs to be the time. Now, we've said that for a lot of different events, but truly, with everything that's happened, E3, and now, again, you're going to get the people in the comments saying, this game has been rumored, and they've been working on these games for years and years and years and years, and every year for the Game Awards and every year for E3, you build yourself up, and then it's never there. To be honest with you, this is my first E3 that I will be covering it. Now, I did talk about Batman last year, but I mainly talked about it after E3. I never really thought we would get a Batman game last year at E3. I really started again right afterwards. So, to my credit, this is my first E3 covering it. This is my first time saying that, like, I think it's definitely going to be there. Will I be wrong? I mean, time will tell. It's a tough situation because, again, it's where we've built ourselves up where it's like it's E3 or it's bust. I mean, I had been saying even back in like August that, like, okay, if it's not here, then it could be here. If it's not here and here, like, we're all going to be disappointed. But, like, where do we set the game doesn't exist bar? Like, where does that come in? Where do we just say, hey, we're giving up on this game? And back like in August, I believe I had said E3. Like, if it's not a full year, if a full year comes and goes and it's not at E3, we would need to have a serious discussion about what's going on. And, I mean, we've had that serious discussion anyway, but we really would. However, yes, you can say there's been leaks, there's been rumors for years that this game has been coming, or games that Warner Bros. Montreal has been making are coming, but it's never been like this. And that's what I'll always go back to is, like, yeah, there's been stuff. And people talked about, like, that logo. that somebody had tweeted it before, but like it's bigger news now. More people are talking about it. We get the redacted page. We get Warner Bros. Montreal literally teasing this thing, which is the biggest thing, right? I mean, that should really stop all people from saying, one, it's not real. Two, you build yourself up for nothing. No, they've teased it. They're showing us that they are clearly working on it. And also, everybody under the sun that has any inside knowledge of anything video game wise has said it's a Batman game. Is it an Arkham game? Well, also everybody under the sun has said it's an Arkham game, but we can continue to debate if they're going to call it Arkham or not. I'm going to still say, until they tell me it's not, I'm going to assume it's called Arkham something or something Arkham, whatever it's going to be. But that's what people will say, which doesn't make any sense, right? E3, because and you could be saying, well, Alex, why do you keep saying this? It's like I'm trying to like guard my own back, to be quite honest with you, because what I really want to say, and so I'll just say it, what I really want to say is E3 is the time. It needs to be at E3. Okay, it absolutely does. And again, maybe not at E3 specifically. Like, what is the quote-unquote E3? Is it the conference? Is it like the first day of conferences? Is it those 3 days that people get to go out on the show floor and play? Like, what, you know what I mean? Again, E3 is just a nice title, a nice word, but I really do mean, like, I guess that week or June in general. Like, it needs to be there. It needs to be announced. It doesn't even need to be there. It can just be announced at that time. And again, so the reason I said all that stuff before this is because the number one thing people are going to say is like, you keep saying it needs to. And that's basically what I'm defending. But here's the defense is they've teased it for the longest time. We've gotten more info on this game than ever before. We're finally starting to really piece together what's been going on. Again, for the longest time, they were making the Suicide Squad game. They toyed around with the Wonder Woman game. They were making this Damian Wayne game, which again was this Batman game. So the Batman game that's been rumored for a long time, it maybe was a mix of this game currently and that Damian Wayne game. Because remember, there were like leaks and rumors back in 2019, back in the summer of 2018. You have to think, too, if there was leaks in the summer of 2018, which game were those leaks talking about? Because it's my personal belief that they canceled the Damian Wayne game in 2017, which I think has actually already been proven, but that's when they would have started this new game. So, like, even that Arkham Insert, which I think was Insurgency, right? Those leaks, that, like, what actual game was that talking about? So, like, those are just small blimps on the radar, but this past, 8 months, we've gotten more than ever before. And again, we've even got Warner Bros. Montreal. I mean, they took their freaking website down, which still has not back up. I don't know how you do that, but it's still under construction. They must have one guy typing one letter a day into their code to make that website because it's just not going anywhere. And so again, like, you have the website down, you have the redacted, you have these images, you have every leaker saying it. I mean, it's real. Okay, it's absolutely real. So now we really can say, like, what the holy heck are you guys doing? And I mean, there's definitely other words we could say that I can't say, but maybe you guys can in the comments. Like, what are you doing? The game is real. We know it's real. So at this point, and again, why am I saying that? To defend the fact that we are allowed to say that we expect something. I don't know why it's looked at as such a negative when we are literally the ones purchasing the product. We are the ones keeping them. Like, yeah, Warner Bros. Can pay their salary all they want, but let me tell you, if the game comes out and it sells 1 million copies, Warner Bros. Montreal is getting shut down. It is going to get shut down. If the game fails, if the game sucks, and it's just a disappointment, and there's like riots on the street, and nobody buys the game, that's probably a bigger factor than anything. But if people are severely disappointed, Warner Bros. Montreal is going to get flipped. They're going to do a complete 180 and have to really rethink that whole studio, or they're just going to shut the studio down. So at the end of the day, it's like, why can't we expect stuff from them if we are literally going to be buying their products? So that's the kind of stuff that I just 1,000% don't understand why people can't at least see. They don't have to agree with it, but see our side. I think I am 1,000. I don't think. I do know. I'm 1,000% in the boat that this needs to be an E3 thing. Because if it goes past E3, then why? What are you doing then? Like how? Because then like then the leaks that it's a reboot or at least a soft reboot and it comes out this fall. It can't come out this fall if they announce it this fall, right? So I mean that can't happen. And then we push it to 2021, but also what's like where is the Superman game? Where is this Rocksteady game? Like eventually they're going to have to go too, and I don't know what I would love to know because there's only two things that can possibly be happening, and this is what I want. If I am I mean, there's 1,000 things I'd like to know about this game and what has been happening over the last 5 years, but one very specific thing I'd like to know is this. Are they waiting on this Superman / Rocksteady game? Are they waiting on that to be announced? And are they waiting on the Warner Bros. Montreal Arkham game? Like, does that need to come first? At least the announcement, because like, could they have done the Rocksteady game? Could they have announced what they were making a year ago? Like, was it ready to at least been shown as a trailer a year ago? Or, like, so is it that, or are they literally waiting for it? Or have those games, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, have those games been, maybe not the Superman games, we don't know much about that. We also don't officially know that it's being made. That's only, at least we know Rocksteady has to be working on something, right? But has Rocksteady's game secretly been delayed? I'd love to know that, right? Was it delayed and pushed and it really could have been announced earlier, but it was delayed? Or could we have announced it like a year and a half ago, but we're like, we really need to get this Warner Bros. Montreal game going and out first, because then if Rocksteady goes first, it's going to make them look worse, and then they're just never going to release a game, and everything's going to just fall apart on them. Like, I'd love to know that. But at the end of the day, I think this is an E3 thing. I think that we're still going to get those and the thing that'll back us up is those teasers. I mean, we need more of those images, and here we are, last week of February. I know people have thrown around some dates that make sense in March. Again, we're going to talk about that, I believe, next week. I think would be a good, or even later this week, because it's the end of February, so probably the next video, if not the one after that, we'll talk about some of the key dates in March to keep your eyes peeled on. But guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What do you think about this discussion? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you, as always, for watching. You guys are the absolute best. You guys have been with me. Some of you guys have been with me since the very beginning. Even people that we are still just now picking up. You guys are truly the best. I greatly appreciate all your support. Make sure you are liking this video. Make sure you are sharing it, commenting. Make sure you guys are subscribed, have that bell icon rung, all of that stuff. We do these videos every couple days. This is also the week we're going to be covering the Batman movie, the 2021 movie. I know a lot of people actually said to start covering it, and so I will be having like discussion-like videos on that movie. So please, if you would do me a favor, just show up, and support those videos as well. It would mean a lot to me. We can start talking about that movie, which at least we know that movie is happening, right? That's actually official. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.